What is up, RotoGrinders? 45 minutes to lock. Two-gamer once again. It is Cup week. It's Cup night. Myself, TJ's Warriors. You guys know TJ, one of the greatest DFS players in all of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Also a multitasker tonight, giving some analysis, producing the show. And, well, two of us, one of us was going to make fun of the other in theory after last night's games, but we both stink. My Heat stink. Your Raptors stink, TJ. So both of our teams do not move on. So that's kind of a bummer, I suppose. But we didn't care about the cup.
I woke up to a Slack message from producer Steve getting mad at the Raptors to me for starting hack of Mitch Robinson in the third quarter.
Steve, of course, is a New York fan. He must be happy that New York did move on. Although Steve actually DM'd me today because he was upset the polar bear is in Baltimore. He's really relocating to Baltimore. I'm sure you saw the news. Pete Alonso was a 5 years.
I'm unhappy about that too.
What? Oh, because now they're going to mess with the. Your Toronto Blue Jays can't be excited for like 1 minute because now all of a sudden the Blue Jays are the underdog again, possibly in the AL East. Yeah. Well,
I don't think it'll swing that heavily, especially once they sign Kyle Tucker. But I'm worried about Pete Alonso in the AL East.
Are you breaking news? You're saying I don't know this. I haven't really been following. I'm sure. I think Tucker's the prize in the offseason. Is he?
Yeah, they're the current favorite.
One of the main teams.
They're the current favorite to land him. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I figure the Yankees or the Dodgers, but I have not been on top of this.
Yeah, Yankees don't have as much money as the Blue Jays do.
Well, I mean, they do. They're pretending like they don't.
No, they genuinely don't. The Steinbrenner family doesn't have near as much money as Rogers.
They're liars. They're open the book, Steinbrenners. I promise you they're lying. I promise you they're lying.
All these teams have enough money to pay these guys. I'm just saying, like, if we want to speak factually, like the Steinbrenner family doesn't have near as much as Rogers.
Okay. I don't have access to the books, but when teams like the Yankees especially start crying poor, I cry bullshit. But all right, it's Derek. It's Noto. You guys know him as Notorious. Noto, how are things? Happy Wednesday. We got a two-gamer tonight. Cup Fever. One projected blowout. The OKC Thunder, I believe, still just one loss this season. It's completely absurd. They've been outrageous. Devin Booker ruled out before the game. That's kind of a bummer. He's dealing with that groin. He's not going to play with his groin tonight. No injuries to monitor. The Booker was the last one as far as clearing things out. There's a couple players that are questionable that don't matter. Apologies to Jordan McLaughlin and Carter Bryant. Otherwise, everything is clean. Either you're out or you're in on the injury report. OKC, 15, 16-point favorite here versus the Suns. And then an expected closer game and bigger total as well. Lake Show and the Spurs. No, happy Wednesday. How are things?
Yeah, things are good. Should be an interesting slate. It's kind of I like the three gamers sometimes because you can get some lower owned guys with some upside. Doesn't seem like there are a lot of lower owned upside guys on the slate, but yeah, baseball out of sight, out of mind for me till March. Love it, but not keeping up with the off season moves. So TJ, you have to keep me informed on all that stuff.
Who's your baseball team, Noto? You have a team?
I like the Jazz for basketball. I like the Jaguars for NFL, and then I don't really have a baseball team.
What's the closest? Like, is there anybody blacked out in the Utah area for baseball, or you get everybody? Rockies, maybe.
Rockies or Arizona.
I don't know.
I hear we might steal their baseball team too eventually.
A package deal. Yeah, you guys got their hockey team, and maybe that's possible. I remember when I lived in Vegas with the MLB extra innings, I was like blacked out for like 6 teams. It was ridiculous. It's like a 500-mile radius or something. It's like because you're just gonna have a whole day of work, and they want you to travel to like 400 miles to watch a baseball game. I don't know. I'm getting in my soapbox, but
like that for hockey here too.
Crazy.
Where do you live now, Dean?
I'm in South Florida right now. I'm like speaking of hockey, about 5-10 minutes from the Panthers arena. So
nice.
Yeah, there you go. The 2-time defending champion Florida Panthers, I should say. TJ knows that. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about tonight's two-gamer big picture. We're going to talk about that in a second. Of course, we'll go position by position. We'll start with DK. FanDuel as well. Hit that like button if you guys are hanging out in the chat. Do subscribe. Do turn on those notifications. Do all those things. All right. Anything lurking in the chat? Anything of note? I see Tim just kind of hanging out in chat. He got excited. He heard some hockey talk because Tim does a great job as far as doing content here for hockey. He's always hanging out in the hockey Discord channel, one of the Discord channels that is free. RotoGrinders.com/Discord. The live stream chat channel is where you put your questions for the show. The prioritized questions, I will do my best to get to the YouTube questions as well. But yeah, if you guys want to talk hockey with Tim, jump in that Discord channel, the hockey Discord channel. Big picture. TJ, are you running your 20 lineups? What are you doing tonight? What's the strategy?
Yeah, with only 2 games doing 20 instead of 150, I've also been playing cash in NBA basically every day so far this year, just because the RotoGrinders optimal lineup, or sometimes I make like 1v1, 2v2 off of it, has just been absolutely crushing it. The projections have been ridiculously strong so far this year, and so I'm running a cash lineup again. My current cash lineup is a 2v2 off of the optimal. I'm switching a couple things up. We'll go through that when we go position by position, but playing cash and 20 when I usually do cash 150, but 150 with 2 lineups just kind of 2 games just kind of sucks.
Maybe we'll ask Tim is probably in those cash streets. Maybe you can throw out your 2v2. Maybe Tim can help you out. We talked about it pre-show, and it seemed like a 51-49 kind of a coin toss.
Basically, where I'm struggling right now, and we'll get there, is that in theory, I feel like with the lack of value on this slate, Harrison Barnes should be somebody that you play in cash games, especially considering he is the 5th highest projected own play on the slate. But he's not in the current RG optimal. So that's where I'm tinkering and wondering right now.
It's probably in like the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th, and 6th team, but probably not in the 1st team. We're talking decimal points, basically, right? I imagine. I haven't run it out, but typically it's like a 0.2 difference, a 0.1 difference. So yeah, and you keep to like you just play the optimal, or I like to kind of look at the first 3, first 4, first 5, and pick my favorite. If I'm going to do that, is that something? I know you've been saying you've been doing well with the.
Yeah, I don't do the multiples and then look at them. I'll just kind of I'll do that in my brain.
Yeah,
and so like I'll look at the projections and adjust for a 1v1 or a 2v2 if I don't like it, or if I'm say putting them in a few more single entry contests than usual that day, I'll do some adjusting. And today is a 2v2 off of it that I'm currently running, but I usually just use like the 1 for a reference point and a build point, and then I'll enter it and then just make my adjustments.
I need an official ruling. I'm going to shout out the state that St. Louis resides. St. Louis. Well, what is the name of the state that St. Louis resides?
Missouri.
Is Missouri, right? I mean, I've heard Missouri. Is that what the locals say? I'm not sure. I think it's Missouri,
I've
too.
been told that's just what Roth says, and so I shouldn't be copying Roth.
So Roth says Missouri, and now I'm thinking Missouri is the actually correct answer, but it's probably Missouri.
79, or how does he say? 79.99.
Yeah, Roth. I don't know. He's not from the area, so maybe we got to ask Beimfour. We'll ask Beimfour. He'll give us the final word on Sunday. I think he resides in St. Louis still. But the reason why I bring up Missouri, check out the link in the description for the best promo codes. You guys are aware, if you're not aware, sports betting is now a thing. It's legal in Missouri, and you can get all the best promo codes in the link in the description. Go ahead and check those out. If you're not yet signed up, take advantages of the sign-up bonuses there in the Discord channel. No, you have an overview. Obviously the Thunder game is projected to be more of a blowout. They're really healthy too. It's like they have like 12 guys that could be like, their second unit could be, I don't know, the 18th best team in the NBA or something like that. I haven't worked it out, but even their second unit's pretty good. They're pretty deep these days. They are without Isaiah Joe, I think is, but they're, Lou Dort is back. Hartenstein's still out too, but they're just so stacked and so deep, this Thunder team. The Suns, I did mention Booker's out. Obviously, Jalen Green is still out. Hartenstein, we haven't seen in a while. Isaiah Joe, we haven't seen in a while. Spurs, nothing new. There was a chance Wemby was going to come back tonight. They were talking about this as a possible target date. Unfortunately, it's a bummer. Not happening for him. And the Lakers are fully healthy, with the exception of Maxi Kleber, who I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't matter. Maxi Kleber does not matter. No, how are we attacking the slate? Is there sort of like, build your, if we want to build for a Phoenix OKC blowout, you have a certain lineup for that. If the game stays close, you got a certain lineup for that. Is your lineup, is it story time? How are you handling attacking lineups tonight?
That's kind of tough. If you just run the optimal, you get one Thunder. If you run the optimal with Barnes and Luka tagged or locked in, then you get no Thunder guys, which is kind of strange on when they have the highest team total by a wide margin. So it's kind of a tough slate. I do think I will probably play into the blowout narrative a little bit, but that's more so on the Phoenix side. I think the OKC guys are going to get there, even if the game they only get 3.5 quarters worth of minutes. So, I mean, they've been playing in blowouts all season. So it's not like we should expect this game to be that much different.
Yeah, SGA is, what is it, like 10 times he's missed the fourth quarter of the season, something like that. It's been a lot. I was looking at his numbers for his career with OKC. His minutes are down to the fewest minutes he's gotten the entire year, but he also does play the entire third quarter. My apologies if you said some of that. I was reading the chat because I got distracted. Mikey Smokes 420 says, if you're not going to leave the basement, no place like South Florida to live. I don't know if Mikey Smokes is making a joke. There's no basements in South Florida. If you dig like 5 feet, you hit water. So I don't know. You can't find one. Good luck. If you find a basement, that's a red flag. Something's going on. Something's dicey there. You're probably not in South Florida. Noto, did it work last time when I asked you how your week went or how your day went? Did you happen to smash it, or did that not work the second time?
It's still TBD. You asked me Monday, so we'll see this Sunday.
That's football specific. That's not basketball. Yeah. Understood. Okay, let's do it. Let's dive in. Let's give our favorite plays position by position. TJ, you're starting us off. DraftKings first. Point guard. What do you got?
Yeah, so it kind of all revolves around Luka Doncic, whether you want to be going all the way up to Luka tonight or whether you want to be building a more balanced lineup, because he is 12K and we also don't have any salary savers. So that really narrows things down with what you're going to be doing with him today. I personally am going to be rolling Luka Doncic in my main lineup, but you certainly don't have to. You can go with SGA as a tournament pivot, or you can build more mid-tier and stick with like a De'Aaron Fox as your highest priced player today. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that either. Fox probably is my favorite tournament play at the position, just because he's the one super high upside guy that isn't projecting for all that much ownership. And I also think that second game is the most interesting to stack up as well. So big fan of De'Aaron Fox in tournaments. AJ Mitchell is going to be my favorite pivot off of a Dylan Harper today. But Dylan Harper, I kind of feel like is just chalk you want to roll out. Like he's just the safest guy to get you 20-ish points in that range, and also the most likely one to put 30 plus up. So Dylan Harper, the salary saving cash game lock today. Maybe you're playing him at the shooting guard position, but he and Luka are the optimal. You got to play them. And then I think SGA, De'Aaron Fox, AJ Mitchell are the tournament pivots.
Harper coming off a breakout game last time, 52% ownership currently on DK. I did not get to make a ton of lineups today. I was messing with underdog stuff, and I just didn't want to have to scramble if Booker news came out on the show. I'm not good at multitasking like you are, TJ. So I only made a few lineups, but I did make sure I'm going to play one of Luka or SGA in every lineup tonight. That's just kind of a rule I made when I was hand building. But you are right to say that Fox, 14%. The ownership is distinctly different. We currently have Luka around 44 on DK, Gillespie at 37, and then as 20, 21, and Fox at 15. So the ownership game, Fox does make sense. No, point guard. What do you got?
Well, got some bad news. I'm actually switching my phone carriers, so I had to go to Costco, leave my phone there because I had my show, and just got logged out of my DraftKings. So don't have the they'll text me with my little pin. So hopefully the lineup I have in there is it's a good one tonight. But
you should get your phone plan switched to Rogers so that all of your cell phone dollars go directly to the Blue Jays free agency budget.
This is why the Rogers company has more money than the Yankees. Right. This is the reason.
So I did a quick Google for what it's worth, and Rogers is worth about 10 times more than the Steinbrenner family.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, it's a big corporation. It's not a family.
Yeah.
Did you put a dummy lineup in, or did you actually put real players?
I think I have an actual lineup in before the Booker news, but I don't think I had any
it's a bummer.
funds anyway. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be good news. As far as point guards, Luka Doncic, lock for me tonight. I don't care that he's expensive. I don't care that we have to kind of make it work around him with some value guys that we don't feel great about. You mentioned Dylan Harper. I think he's great chalk as well. Only other guys I'll add, Gillespie is 6.8. We've seen him play really well. I know the matchup is tough. I know we have a potential blowout, but he sees a 5% usage boost without Booker on the floor. Also sees a 0.06 FanDuel point per minute boost. And then I like the Fox call. Don't mind Case and Wallace. If you want to get somebody on the Thunder but don't want to spend up on one of the expensive guys, I think he's certainly viable. It should see, 25 to 28 minutes, at home.
By the way, I saw this interesting stat on SGA. I don't know if you guys seen this or not. Take a guess. Regular season, when was the last time SGA did not score at least 20 points, 20 actual points in the bucket? Anyone want to throw out just a random guess? It's been over a year. He's done it for over a year, calendar-wise. It's November 1st. Since November 1st, I think October 30th, he scored like 15 points or something, whatever it was. So, like, he's guaranteed at least for 20. He's going to give you 20 in the bucket. Just absolutely incredible. You know, the tricky part is you might lose that fourth quarter, but, you know, and obviously you don't just want 20 points and that's it. You would cross them out when you're paying, you know, the salary, but just the consistency out of him has been pretty absurd. Okay. No. Knock out the shooting guard at DK.
Yeah, so you got Dylan Harper here too. Austin Reeves is kind of tough for me because I'm already paying up for Luka. So if you are playing two Lakers, you kind of got to decide between LeBron and Reeves. I think I prefer Reeves, especially if he's going to be a little bit lower owned. But don't feel great about him either. I think it's probably a good position to save. You can either play Goodwin at 4.5 or Harper at 4.7. And then for tournaments, you got a lot of the OKC guys. Lou Dort in his first game back. Not sure how many minutes he's going to play, but we haven't projected for 27. 3.9 is pretty cheap for him. I know he's kind of a 3-and-D guy, but he can give you, you know, 25 fantasy points. Talked about Casey Wallace already. Alex Caruso, very hit or miss, but when he does hit, he tends to put up points quickly. So those are kind of the cheapies that I don't mind in tournaments. Probably not going to be on Grayson Allen. And then Stephon Castle, he played 23 minutes last time. What do we think his role is going to be tonight? We haven't projected for 27. Like, that's going to be tough for him to get there at 7.5.
I think he's one of those guys, if like things don't work out for you in the first game and you're trying to like catch up to be different, he doesn't project great, but you can pivot to a Castle, you know, because no matter if your players that are in there that are going to be highly owned, they do great, doesn't matter. Because people in front of you have those players. So he's like a desperation pull for me. If things go great, you know, the first game you happen to have Castle in your lineup, I probably would pivot off him to something that is more likely to pay off salary-wise. TJ, clean up shooting guard on DK and pivot to small forward.
Yeah, on the Castle front, definitely somebody I wouldn't touch in a single lineup, but playing 20. If he is only going to be 5% owned on a 2-game slate, that's somebody I definitely want to get over the field on because I think what if he gets 30 minutes? Then all of a sudden he is a good play at that price tag kind of thing. So someone I want to be overweight in my large field stuff, definitely would not consider touching him in anything smaller field, single entry, cash game type stuff. I am getting to Dylan Harper the most at this position. Let me double check who exactly I'm getting the most of. Harper 1, and then Gillespie and Austin Reeves kind of as a tie for 2. I really don't like this spot. And so if I wanted to rebuild, I think what I would be make everybody who has shooting guard eligibility, just I can only play them at shooting guard. Don't run them out at any point guard spots. But for the most part, this is where I want to play Harper. This is where I want to play Gillespie. And then I think I would want to make a rule that I want one of LeBron, Reeves, or Luka in every lineup.
I didn't realize we got a peek at your player pool here on the screen. Yeah, 30% Harper minimum. Now you're throwing it away there. You don't mind to give it away. I assume you don't care. Do you care?
No. I don't like looking at that page too often just because it has the first lineup that I'm throwing out there as well.
Yeah.
But even when we're just in like this part for lineup HQ, this is my exact pool. These are the minimum and maximum exposures I was going for.
Did you have any other rules for the slate? You're talking about one of Luka, Reeves, LeBron. I was thinking about it, and I don't really make a ton of lineups, but in my head, I was thinking about I didn't want more than one of like Wiggins, Mitchell, Caruso, Dort. Like typically one of those guys will get there, but generally speaking, you're probably not going to get more than 2. This game probably blows out. They probably play pretty deep here, OKC. Do you have any thoughts on that or any other rule you considered?
Yeah, so I did. I threw a bunch of different groups out there today, and this is one of them that I have for that game. I did a max 2 of Mitchell, Wiggins, Wallace, Big Guy Williams, Alex Caruso, and Dort. And
yeah, I like that.
2 of those guys can have a good game, especially if, say, this turns into a mega blowout. Maybe AJ Mitchell and Aaron Wiggins play the whole fourth quarter. If that's the case, those 2 could really go off together. So I didn't want to limit to a single one and group them just because on a 2-game slate, kind of anything can happen. but I did a max 2 for them. I did a 1 to 3. Anytime I'm playing De'Aaron Fox, I'm making sure I play one of these Lakers. Anytime I'm playing SGA, I thought I had that one. Yeah, anytime I'm playing SGA, I'm going to make sure I have at least 1 to 2 of Gillespie, Dylan Brooks, Grayson Allen, because I feel like those are the most likely to go off and keep this game close.
Yeah,
actually,
makes sense.
I would want to throw Mark Williams in there too, but that's I don't really feel like rebuilding. But yeah, those are some of the ones I threw out there. A lot of not that many max 1s, but mostly max 2s, and then just plugging a bunch of players into that group.
Yeah, it's and if people have access to projections, you have lineup HQ, and you're not aware how to do that, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. I think we have tutorials. I'm pretty sure we have tutorials hanging out, but
yeah,
you can. Do you want to show them real quick? It's pretty simple. Yeah.
Groups tab up top. Hit a new group. What was the one that you threw out there initially, Dean? It was like Dort, Wiggins.
Yeah, I was thinking like
Wallace.
Dort. Yeah, like one of those. Yeah, no more than one. But I don't. The slate is small enough where you probably could extend it to 2 if you're running 100 lineups or something like that. So it was a little.
Just kind of as a tutorial. There you go. Then you can leave it as ordered. Total does not like players to use 0 to 1. It'll give you sometimes 0, but no more than one of these players. Or say you feel really confident about the OKC wing spot today, but you don't know which wing it's going to be. You can say, I want to play exactly one of these guys in every lineup. I want to play exactly 2 of these guys in every lineup. But for this specific scenario, that would probably be a max 1-er.
What happened to Group B, TJ? There's a Group A, there's a Group C, there's a Group Z. You just erased Group B? You threw it away?
So the Group B one initially was the minimum one of Luka, Reeves, and LeBron. Okay. And then I thought, ooh, what if the Spurs blow them out and they all suck?
Yeah.
Then I don't have a lineup for that kind of scenario. And so I thought, okay, maybe I won't quite build that in. I'll probably get that naturally anyways. And then I'll make it if I'm playing De'Aaron Fox. I have minimum 1 of them.
Starters announced for the first game, nothing surprising. SGA, Wallace, Dort, Jalen Williams. Holmgren, that's the good Jalen Williams. Sons, Gillespie, Allen, Brooks, O'Neal, and Williams. That's Mark Williams. No, small forward on DK and then jump to power forward.
Yeah, so I was just going to mention, I love to use the build rules. I only build like 1 or 2 lineups per slate, but for Showdown, it's great because say you have 3 guys that you make sure you want to use, but you might want to use one a captain. You don't know which one you want to use a captain. You can build a rule to have all 3 of those guys as captain and utility, and then you'll get one of them a captain and the other 2 in your utility, and you can run 10 lineups, see the different options. So I like to use it for that too. Lineup HQ is the best. Okay, small forward, popping at the very top. His per minute stuff's been awesome. I think he's at 1.35 DK per minute this season. And he's done it like 25, 24, 29 minutes, but we have seen him get up into the 30s. So that upside is there from the minute perspective. I don't know what to do with Dylan Brooks. We talked about it the other night. He gets a huge usage boost. I think it's at 9% on the season with Booker and Green off the floor. Didn't you say it was above 40%, Dean?
I think it was 39% as of that night. Yeah. Last game out it was 32, which is still really strong. But yeah the usage is really, really ridiculous for Brooks this year.
It's ridiculous. And then you look at his fantasy points and you're kind of underwhelmed, 23, 32, 39, 35, 29. So the shots will be there, but he'll probably be pulled early in a blowout. So I don't mind being underweight on Brooks. I like Goodwin. We did get a question if Goodwin plays in blowouts at the end of the games, and I think he usually would, but not when he's like a core piece now. Like if he's going to play 30 minutes, he's probably not going to see the last. I don't know. That's just something I was thinking about. Keldon Johnson's a good play. His minutes haven't been where they were a few weeks ago, but I'm still okay with them. We only have projected for 20, but I think he could see 24, 25 minutes in this one. Vassell's offered a really high floor. And that's pretty much it for me at small forward.
I think there's a pretty good chance Goodwin mops, unless it's like a 30-point game in like the last 3 minutes or so. They just bring in, Hayes Davis and Malik Bouye. Like 5 of these guys in the bench have to close it out. And Oso maybe. Dunn probably not. Richards probably because he's been getting like some DMP CDs. He's not been very good. Bad trade for Phoenix, getting both the Charlotte centers now. It's power forward on DK.
I haven't done small forward yet.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll hit that one quick, but I did also want to just ask you guys kind of straight up because somebody asked it in chat. but I do think this is a really important question to kind of get out off the bat anyways. How do you guys rank Austin Reeves, Jalen Williams, LeBron James? Straight up raw points. Not like they're all within $600 of each other. Leaving salary on the table on a slate this small doesn't really matter. So just straight up, who scores the most fantasy points today? How do you rank Reeves, LeBron, Jalen Williams?
I still want to say LeBron's first, even though I know the rates have not been there this year, and father time is a thing, and obviously he's probably still working his way into shape. It's so close though. Our projections, we have LeBron at 41 median, we have Reeves at 40, and then the other guy you mentioned, Jalen, was 38. I would say Williams would be contingent upon how much Suns I have, Suns starters specifically. If I have a couple Suns starters, then I would play Jalen Williams. If not, I would pick amongst one of the Lakers. Noto, you got anything on that?
I'm going Jalen Williams.
All right. I'm sorry.
I think I would go with Austin Reeves. So that helps no one.
One of us is right, though. I can't tell you which one. Okay, so I didn't give you small forwards. My bad.
Yeah, so my small forwards today, I am getting to a fair amount of Jalen Williams. He's going to be my highest owned one in tournaments just because if he does get over that 30-minute plateau, he's probably going to have a very strong game. I think he's got the most volatility between Reeves and LeBron because he's probably the first one that gets limited, as we've seen in the last few games, if it does turn into a blowout. And so I think he's got the highest ceiling of the group, and that's why I'm still going to be getting to a lot of him in tournaments. Dylan Brooks is going to be my number 2, and then it's basically just a coin flip of all these 4 to 5K guys. Like Devin Vassell is my clear number 3 of the somewhat expensive guys, Vassell, Brooks, Williams at this position. But Keldon, Champagny, Goodwin, Hachimura, Dunn, Wiggins, Caruso, like I feel like all of them truly have an equal chance of being the best point per dollar option of that group today. I think my favorite is Keldon Johnson, followed by Goodwin, followed by Hachimura, but it's definitely a tough thing with among that group.
I feel like you're taking a big stand against Goodwin. You're limiting him to 20%, and he might land in 40%.
Yeah, I'm just rolling all these guys out basically evenly, and so let me switch over to the small forward. Yeah, I'm only going to get 20% of him, getting more done, more Dylan Brooks at that spot. I am playing him in my main lineup, so that's why I don't really mind being underweight to him in tournaments, because if Goodwin has a big game, good chance my main lineup will too, but not getting to a ton of him today in my 20 entry max.
Has anybody talked about power forward just yet? I don't think so, right?
No.
Okay. So Noto, give me power forward, and then TJ will knock out power forward. We'll speed this up a little bit because we have 15 minutes to lock. I also want your plums play before we talk about FanDuel. We're going to run through FanDuel quickly. Do want your questions. We want to answer your questions in the Discord channel, RotoGrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. Those questions are prioritized. Then I'll look at the YouTube. Hit that like button while you're hanging out on YouTube as well. Okay, so Noto, give me some power forwards, and then we'll go to TJ. We'll clean everything else up. Power forwards for DK Noto.
Yeah, we talked about this on Monday. I'm typically not a Harrison Barnes fan. The 20 to 25 at 5K usually doesn't do anything, but I think on tonight's slate it's going to. So I do like Harrison Barnes at 4.9. I'm fine with LeBron. We talked about those three, having very similar projections. I would say LeBron might have the lowest floor between Jalen Williams, Reeves, and himself. Holmgren, kind of expensive, but Hardenstein's out, so I can see getting there. Royce O'Neal is kind of like the slightly more expensive version of Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
It's not a great position. I don't mind going to like Ryan Dunn, Keldon Johnson, but I think Barnes is probably the one play I like at the position.
Yeah, TJ, power forwards on DK, then bleeding to centers, and center is just there's not a lot of opportunity cost today at center. The highest projected center is DeAndre Ayton, Mark Williams. There's Luke Cornett. That's why I think the quote unquote the bad Jalen Williams I think is pretty interesting for tournaments because there's no if you want to bet on a blowout, I think he's one of those guys that can get you there as a salary saver. But that's just my thought. Your thoughts? Power forward first, TJ, and then centers.
Barnes, O'Neal, LeBron, I think are kind of the three guys you're potentially looking at in a cash setting. I guess Ryan Dunn as well. Dunn's probably my favorite of the group because I feel like he can get there if this game stays close. He can get there if it turns into a blowout. So I think he's my favorite at the position. The one guy at very low ownership I'm keeping in my pool is Jeremy Sohan. Nobody's playing him because he only played like 3 minutes last game. What if Harrison Barnes or Champagny or heck, even Luke Cornett plays like crap and this game goes small? I think Jeremy Sohan would benefit there, pick up some more minutes. And on a slate where we have no salary savers, I think he's very interesting for tournaments in that same vein as Jalen Williams with an eye that you talked about. And then I got Iguodaro there as well for like the 3 cheap options I'll take a shot on. Of the Ayton, Cornett, Mark Williams group, I think Ayton, Cornett are the clear cash game guys you go to, but Mark Williams is by far my favorite for tournaments. I feel like he has got the biggest ceiling of that group by a fairly wide margin.
Not to tell you what to do, TJ, but if you are playing Sohan, I would limit Sohan and Cornett to 1 because that's how Sohan gets there if he plays a small ball center. I don't know if you made a group for that or not, but that would be a group that I would make if you are in your pool.
Trying to find it, but yeah, I do have that group already.
Yeah, that makes sense. Noto, centers, what do you got?
Did he do something wrong the other night? I ended up with him in my main lineup. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds, Sohan in 3 minutes, and then he just never came back in. Did he get popped or what?
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, to be honest. I missed it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I like Ayton and Cornett for cash. I like Oso in all formats just because he's going to get 18 to 20 minutes if the game's close, and he'll probably get a couple extra if the game turns into a blowout, which I think it will. 3.8K, I think he's probably my favorite center play, but I like the Jalen Williams call with an eye as well.
Okay. Give me your plums play. Who was breaking the slate? TJ, go first. If you want to give me like one super ambitious, creative, fun one, and one you feel like a little more adamant about, however you want to answer that question. Plums, who you feeling?
Yeah, let's do the sneaky one that I don't think anybody will go to. I'll say Jeremy Sohan is going to be the slate breaking salary saver today. Then on I'll go De'Aaron Fox up top today.
All right, Noto. See those names and raise them.
Take the chalk and Luka up top, and then I'll go with Oso as my like sneaky slate breaker.
Yeah, and that's in a blowout build, I presume. Like you're probably not playing Oso alongside both Gillespie and Grayson Allen. Like that's not something you're doing, I imagine.
Right.
Probably one of Gillespie, Allen, Brooks, something like that. O'Neal as well.
Yep.
Okay. Let's just quickly run through FanDuel. If there's anything distinctly different, I'll have Noto start me off as far as point guard. Are you seeing anything distinctly different? And of course, FanDuel has a lot of multi-position eligibility. Point guard, shooting guards, very similar. Small forward, power forward, very similar. Let's knock out the FanDuel stuff. Noto, you got point guard on FanDuel.
Bates a lot closer on FanDuel. We have SGA projected for a slightly higher RG value than Luka. I still prefer Luka, but it's a lot closer on FanDuel. And then Harper's a little more expensive over here. Fox is a little cheaper over here. And I probably wouldn't go past those 4.
TJ, guards, all the guards, FanDuel.
Grayson Allen, Dylan Harper, Jordan Goodwin looking like the 3. I guess Allen's not a salary saving option, but for his price on FanDuel, it looks pretty good. At that projected ownership, that looks like somebody to me that, you plug and play in cash, you try and avoid in tournaments. I am with Noto. I still slightly prefer Luka to SGA in this spot. Harper, Goodwin, my 2 favorite salary savers. And then Colin Gillespie, Devin Vassell over here getting a little bit less ownership.
All right, Noto, clean up shooting guard and then bleed into small forward on FanDuel.
Yeah, what TJ said is shooting guard. Small forward, I like Barnes a lot, 4.8K. I prefer him over Royce and Brooks and Grayson. I like Jalen Williams here too. And then LeBron's just too cheap. I think if I'm playing any LeBron, it would be on FanDuel. Pez right now. Actually, maybe I could play over on FanDuel. Maybe I'll do that in the next 9 minutes.
They probably have nothing. It's probably barren, I would imagine. But if you can find a contest, have at it. Yeah, LeBron, like you said, he's distinctly cheaper over there. It's 7.9. I think he's like 7.9. Yeah, he's 7.9 on FanDuel, which cheaper than DK. I was gonna tag him on lineup HQ. I didn't go that far because I didn't want to keep tagging expensive players because I tagged. My plan today is to play one of SGA or Luka in every single lineup. So I wrote up and tagged both those guys. Small forward, TJ on FanDuel, anything different, and then talk about some power forwards. Forwards in general, all the forwards.
All the forwards. Yeah, LeBron the clear cash game lock here on FanDuel, 7,900. You just have to do it. I think he's still fadeable in tournaments. Like, we've seen him put up really low scores. I wouldn't be wanting to do it aggressively, but if I were playing 3 lineups, maybe I go LeBron less in one of them. Harrison Barnes, Royce O'Neal, great cash game guys, but 2 that I certainly wouldn't feel bad about avoiding in tournaments today. Rui Hachimura, Keldon Johnson, and Vassell, probably my favorite pivots off of them. Don't mind going to Ryan Dunn either.
All right. Noto, clean up all the forwards and then jump to center. Anything that's worth mentioning? Anything you disagree with TJ? Anything you want to reiterate or double?
Forgot to mention Iguodala and Sohan here as well as 2 guys I like to save salary with.
Yeah, all I was going to say is Iguodala is cheap over here too, 3,800. So I'm going to be playing him as well. And he's power forward eligible, which is kind of nice. Center, it's kind of ugly. Probably just play Ayton at 6.1 where he's underpriced. Everyone else kind of feels a little bit overpriced compared to their DraftKings salaries.
What do you got as far as center, TJ? Again, center pretty barren today.
Mark Williams still going to be my favorite guy for tournaments. FanDuel, where you can only play 1. I prefer Ayton over Cornette from a cash game standpoint, but Cornette does look like a good tournament option here. And it's just basically those 3. Like the Jalen Williams, the Iguodala's, sure, you can play them here, but I'd rather play them at power forward. And if you're running 150 lineups, you're trying to get crazy, maybe try Jackson Hayes.
Ooh, that is a spicy one for sure. Question in the Discord channel. That's 6 minutes until lock. Get your questions in now. Want to be able to answer all of them before we hit lock. Jaskarin in the Discord. This is for Noto. Goodwin or Wallace? Doesn't say what format. Let's assume tournaments. Doesn't say sites either. More details, the better. Just know that going forward.
Are you talking in Discord? The first question is FanDuel cash, Wallace or Goodwin?
Well, I see a question at 7:19. So you're talking about what time? What's the timestamp you're talking about?
7:21.
Okay. Well, there's a question.
Yeah, FanDuel cash, Wallace or Goodwin?
I don't know. I think Goodwin has the higher ceiling. I think even if the game blows out, his minutes are pretty secure. So I'm going to go that way. I don't mind Wallace.
So I realized I was in the basketball channel, not the live stream chat channel. So there are similar questions in the basketball channel. So there are multiple channels. They're all free. Those are free. Not every single channel is free. But yeah, I will jump back into the Discord channel. Thank you for into the live stream chat channel. Thank you for getting me back on track here, TJ. And they were just asking other people, just hanging out in chat, the question. They might even be watching the show for all we know. But yeah, this is for TJ from D-Rock, DK single entry. I got 2 for you. DK single entry, Keldon or Barnes?
Keldon.
Goodwin or Dunn, DK single entry?
Goodwin.
Hoosiers Hang Banners is saying, is Castle the guy nobody is playing? I think he's one of them. Yeah. I think he's one of them. They're asking about Joey Gallo. Yeah, apparently Joey Gallo is trying to become a pitcher. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Not relevant to tonight's, but yes, I'm not going to be the first person to make the joke. If only he could face Joey Gallo. But that is not possible. LeBron versus Reeves. You kind of touched on that already in chat. They're talking about Pete Alonso as well. Derek is asking if I'm in NBA chat. Yeah, Derek caught me as well. I was in the wrong chat. I was screwing around in the wrong channel. Let's see. Hoosiers Hang Banners is asking if Goodwin closes out in a blowout. I think mostly. If it's just like a 40-point game, then eventually he's probably going to come out the last 3 minutes or so. Noto, I was going to ask Noto who's the player you're most afraid of not having, but you don't even know what your lineup looks like.
I'll let you know when I run back to Costco after this.
TJ, how what is your big stand? Who's the player you're fading biggest? I'm sure you have him in your pool, I imagine, but in relation to ownership, who's your biggest fade?
It's a good question. In probably, I guess, Jordan Goodwin for large field tournaments. I would say all of the Phoenix starters in large field GPPs, I'll be underweight to, except for Dylan Brooks.
Thoughts
and Mark Williams, actually. Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams, I'm quite heavy on.
TJ, thoughts on fading OKC in cash? Just generally getting away from OKC in cash. How much cash should you have as far as OKC pieces in your lineup?
I think that's totally viable. Some of the builds I was looking at get to Jalen Williams, but that would be the only OKC player I think I'd want to play.
Noto from the Discord channel, Beaner wants to know LeBron or Williams for FanDuel tournaments. I assume that's the good Jalen Williams on OKC. LeBron or Williams? Who do you prefer in tournaments on FanDuel?
Yeah, we're torn on this question. I'm going Williams. I think you're going LeBron, and we know TJ likes Reeves. So,
yeah, who knows? We're just throwing our hands up, and it's a good night to.
I think that like the context of that being FanDuel makes it really interesting because LeBron's going to be 80% owned, and so in that context, I do really like the pivot to Jalen Williams.
Hoosier saying banners with the comment of the night that Gallo would strike out Pete Crow Armstrong. There you go. I like that. He is a lefty, so Pete Crow would probably struggle. Noto, Blink 182, large field tournament, Jalen versus Chet. This is DK tournaments. Chet versus Jalen. Who do you got?
Yeah, I like Jalen again.
All right. Who wins? Do we have any big stands, any bets tonight? Anything in dabbling in the sports books, TJ? Any player props this evening?
No, not for me. I've been too busy watching Troll 2, which of course we'll be talking about in a couple hours from now on the Pick 6 show, which stay tuned because we got the football show, Pick 6 show starting in 30 minutes.
Like the cartoon? Trolls?
No, I wish.
Oh. It's considered to be one of the worst movies ever made of all time. If you know Rob Coakley, we run a contest and he forced us all to watch.
Yeah, I know that's part of my favorite part of the show. I'm also looking forward to you guys talking about Phillip Rivers. Can't wait to hear the takes.
Is he actually playing this week, or we're not really sure? Maybe not.
So. I sure hope so.
I think
if it's not him, it's going to be Tyler Warren. So,
well, wait. So the quarterback for Notre Dame is still possibly maybe available. We're not certain. It's up in the air. It's dicey.
I think Leonard's going to be out.
Okay, last I saw, there's a chance he might be able to play, but. And the other thing is, of course, and now we're talking about football. The slate's locking in 30 seconds. I don't see any questions anyway. But Seattle defense, and Seattle coming off that slate-breaking 30-point at home, and yeah, I mean, good luck. It seems like a bad spot for Phillip. I don't know what a good spot is for Phillip Rivers, but it seems like a really, really bad spot.
Full participation in practice today, which I missed.
For who?
Yes, I saw the highlights.
Yeah, I thought I saw he might be available, but I also saw a comment that. Was it like maybe it almost doesn't matter if he's available or not? They may just throw Rivers out there, but I don't think they throw Rivers out there against Seattle. Like it just seems like you're just setting the guy up to fail.
I mean, why bring him? Why bring him on if you're not going to play him?
Well, because he could. Quarterback game manager is 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, right? He's going to game, but I just give him a week to get acclimated. They're in a position where they can lose a game, right? As far as standings, they're basically cruising in. I think. I don't have that for perfect, but I just feel like it just seems, and I think they also have Houston in week 16. So good luck to the Colts.
All I want is another great Phillip Rivers GIF or GIF, however you want to say it. My favorite one's when he's on the sideline.
Yes,
I use it twice a day. Still,
it's yeah, and it's really an indictment on just quarterbacks in general that this is what we're doing. This is what we're rolling out. 44-year-old.
Tweet that blew up about that.
The same, yeah. I mean, I can't believe that this is the best we can do. Yeah,
it is funny that I started having the thought of who's next? Is it Matt Ryan? Is it Drew Brees? But realizing that all the people who have good television contracts would never do it because they'll make more money do it their television contracts.
Brady's making $30 million a year or something like that. Romo's making $25 million a year. Yeah, those guys. I guess he's comfortable at Stanford, I suppose. I was wondering who else got called. And eventually, I guess he's got a relationship with Indianapolis. But I'm just trying to think of are there other 40-year-old quarterbacks that sit around waiting? I saw one of those, the Chad Powers. I saw remember that Danucci? Remember Danucci who played for the Cowboys? You guys aware of that guy?
Oh yeah.
He did one of those Chad Powers things, I think at Oregon State, that they filmed. And is Danucci not better than Phillip Rivers? He looked pretty good playing. Maybe it was flag football. I think I'm combining it. No,
Where's Tommy DeVito at right now? Bring him in.
I think he's hurt, and he's in commercials. He's in that backup commercial. But
Nathan Peterman, fire him up.
Nathan Peterman. Oh man, 5 interceptions in his first game. Is that what it was?
That might be the one guy who I've seen with a worse start than Brosmer.
Yeah. It's just, and like, we don't have time. We got to get out of here. We have to fire up some football in about 28 minutes or so. Join myself, TJ, and Rich Rebar, John Daigle, and Rob Coakley as well. We're going to talk to Slate, which looks like a fun one. 13 games now. Big boy Slate's going forward. No more buys. Do hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe. Win something for basketball.
I forgot to make the credit. Can we kill 2 more minutes talking about something?
You said you were making the credits during the show, not at the last.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing. And then, you complimented my multitasking, but if I'm being honest, things slip through the cracks a lot.
I don't know. Well, I don't know how you do it because
not usually with the work stuff, but usually it's like with my lineups. Sometimes you play the Chargers instead of Seattle, and then you don't win $1 million. And then sometimes you forget to make the credits.
So what's this? Only 36. Like there's still some like other names out there.
Ooh, Kaepernick, 38.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I was looking at Culpepper. Culpepper's 48. I was just trying to think like who else would get called.
Jonte Culpepper.
Mark Brunell. How old is he?
Is he a grandpa too? I'm not really sure. But
I didn't realize like Rivers is only the second grandpa. I didn't realize Favre already did it.
Oh, Favre was a grandpa too? Okay, I didn't know that.
Favre was a grandpa with Minnesota.
Oh, Bobby
brings up a good call. Bobby Combs off the couch.
Bobby will tell you he's going to run like a 4.2 if nothing else.
Jamarcus Russell.
He's got to be younger than Phillip Rivers, right? I would imagine. Have we seen Jamarcus Russell in a while? I don't know if we have or have not. But Tim Tebow, is he still playing baseball? Is he doing anything? Is he on the speech tour? What is he up to? Is he 35? He'd probably be willing to play.
Bring in Allen Iverson or Rajon Rondo, somebody who, if they didn't pick the NBA, they would have been an all-star. Those guys may be a little bit old, but let's bring in one of those guys, have some fun.
I mean, it's a bummer because they went all in trading draft picks. They get Sauce, and Daniel Jones. Just it's the amount of money he lost what $50-75 million or so. Daniel Jones. I'm not sure what the estimate would be. Getting hurt here, just terrible timing before getting to sign a big boy contract off this season. TJ Busmanzada is asking if Carson Wentz is still alive. Like he broke his shoulder earlier in the year. I think he's done. Yes, he's unavailable. And again, why can't we just trade for Jameis? Jameis is not quarterbacking for anybody this weekend, which is just like, what a disaster. We got to do better. We got to figure that out. He should be one of the 32 at all times.
Credits are good to go, by the way, whenever you're ready. But Lord King Guru asking, where's Andy Dalton? And he's the backup for the Panthers.
Yeah. Jason Campbell's a year younger than Rivers. Yeah. Remember Jason Campbell? He had a couple of years where people were excited and then not so much. All right.
Is that a Washington quarterback?
Yeah. He had a window where he was interesting. And then, I don't know, was it an injury or just he got exposed? I don't know what happened to Jason Campbell, but he fell pretty quickly. But all right. We have the credits, the all-important credits. If we didn't have the credits, what would we have done, TJ? Who knows? The show would have just...
If we didn't have the credits, we either would have been Dean Chop Kyle or TJ Taylor Will.
Yeah, you have a couple on reserve just in case. Yeah, fair enough. All right, for Noto, for TJ, the multitasking skills of TJ. I am impressed. You can multitask and do the show and do all the things you do and make lineups at the same time. I was Dean. Again, back in 20 minutes talking Week 15 NFL. We're out of here. Holler.